could start with a protest march.
That's very good.
And non-violent.
We could have signs.
Signs? Oh, that's an excellent idea. How about...
Very much to the point. Now, let's see. How about this one? Wonderful.
I know one, too.
I think that makes clear exactly how we feel. And if this doesn't have any effect, I have a few more ideas we can discuss on the way to Mr. Brinkman's.
Good. Coming, Clara? Clara!
Oh, I was just mentally counting my doorknobs.
You'll need a sign.
A sign? Oh, a sign. Oh. No, that's the best I could do.
Shall we go?
What are you doing up there?
Just read the signs, Mr. Brinkman.
Vote for Coolidge?
These signs, Mr. Brinkman, we're a protest group.
Oh,
We object to the advertising campaign that you've planned depicting us as old crones. We find it distasteful and insulting.
I don't care what you find it. What business is it of yours anyway?
Why, it's very much our business, Mr. Brinkman. We're witches.
Oh, you're witches, are you?
We certainly are.
Now, look, you come on down here off my lamp, and the rest of you come on down here, too. You hear me?
Don't you believe us, Mr. Brinkman?
I'll tell you what I believe. I believe you'd all better get out of here before you're thrown out.
He doesn't believe us.
Well, I guess we'll just have to convince him. All ready? Together. Clara, what are you doing?
Oh, I was just looking at these doorknobs. How do you get it so brilliant?
Huh?
Stick to business, Clara. Now come up here and sit down.
You keep your shirt on.
All right, I've had enough of this. Maybe the police will have something to...
Still don't believe in witches, Mr. Brinkman?
It's that rich food. It's all that rich food I ate. I should never eat French cooking, that's all. My stomach just won't take it. I'll...
Criticizing French cooking.
Cigarette? Blindfold? Well, why would I need a blindfold? Ready? Please, don't shoot me, don't. I do believe in witches. I do believe in witches. You shot me. I'm dead. I told you I believed you, but you killed me anyway. It's not fair.
Oh, nothing of the sort. You're perfectly all right.
I'm all right?
Practically.
What do you mean, practically?
Take a look in the mirror.
What'd you do to me?
The same thing you did to us.
I never did anything to you.
Old crones, you said, with long, hooked noses and blacked-out teeth and warts. How'd you like to go through life looking like that, Mr. Brinkman?
You wouldn't leave me like this.
Of course not. We want the world to know you as you really are. Now, you do the same for us, won't you, Mr. Brinkman?
Oh, I promise. I promise.
Good. You can look again.
Boy, that's what I call a nightmare. I need a drink.
You know, I think creative advertising is among the more fascinating avocations in the world today. Yes, I suppose it is.
And I never expected that anyone who was so successful in that field would be, well, as young as you, Mr. Stephens.
Well, I'm not that young, Miss Randall, although most men in my position are a bit older, I guess.
Bologna. And there's some corned beef and liverwurst and some of that wonderful smelly cheese, too. My husband's simply crazy about that.
No, thank you. But I would like a little something to cool me off.
Yes, of course.
One thing I'm dying to know is where you got that idea for that wonderful Caldwell soup campaign. The only thing that will ever come between us. It's an inspired slogan.
Well, how did you know that was mine?
I've made quite a study of you, Mr. Stephens.
Well, I am flattered, Miss Randall.
Please call me Liza.
Oh, very well, Liza.
And I'll call you Darrin. Or that is, if Mrs. Stephens doesn't mind.
Oh, no, of course not. He's been called worse than that.
My wife has a great sense of humor. We practically never stop laughing around here.
I suppose you find it difficult to accomplish anything at home.
What do you mean by that?
She means business, dear.
Oh, well, I guess we better just stop laughing so you can get down to some serious work.
You see what I mean? Actually, I do find the office more conducive, yes.
I thought so. And as long as we have a date to go down there tomorrow, I won't have to keep you any longer tonight.
Tomorrow?
Well, when Miss Randall called me the other day about the interview, I suggested that she come down to the office on Saturdays when it's quiet so I can show her around. You see?
Oh, yes, I see.
Liza's never seen a real advertising agency.
Oh, well, I suppose everyone should see one sooner or later.
Is 9 o'clock all right?
That'll be fine.
In the morning.
Well, of course in the morning.
Nice to have met you, Mrs. Stephens.
Oh, wonderful to have met you, Liza.
Wonderful to have met you.
Oh, wonderful to have... nice meeting you, Liza.
See you in the morning, Darrin.
Yes, good night, Liza. Now, as you can see by this analysis curve, the public's taste changes with the times. It isn't enough for an advertising man to have imagination. He has to have a sympathetic eye and ear to what the public wants and what they need. A product's success depends upon its public acceptance. And that acceptance will depend upon an image created for that product by an advertising executive. Take clothing styles, for instance. Oh, a different designer dominates the field each year. Cheers. Then the public chooses one above all the others. Now, of course, what we have... What's in that drink?
Root beer?
Root beer and what?
Scotch.
Scotch? What's that?
Gin?
Gin? Give me that. Oh, for heaven's sake. There's a towel over there. Will you get it for me, please?
Oh,
You ought to be spanked. What's the matter with you, anyway?
Nothing's the matter with me, and I wish you wouldn't talk to me as if I were 12 years old.
You're absolutely right. I do apologize. A 12-year-old child would have more sense than to pull a foolish stunt like that. You do that.
That's all right. I don't mind.
I would like to be your father for just about 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes.
I wouldn't care for that at all. I like being who I am, and I like you the way you are.
Never mind that. Just put some water on the towel and soak the gin out of your dress.
You know how zealously we guard our corporate image, Tate? The keynote of all our advertising is dignity.
Oh, by all means, dignity. And let me assure you, Mr. Austin, your campaign is going to be designed by one of our most talented and dignified account executives.
Well, that's good to hear.
I'm glad we spotted his car downstairs. You know, he often comes into the office on Saturdays. He's an extremely dedicated young man. I'm glad you meet him.
Be happy to. Now, listen to me, young lady. There's been enough of this nonsense.
Well, we haven't done a thing.
We have done all we're going to.
Larry, I think we are intruding.
Oh, I don't think so. Mr. Johnson, have you seen Darrin Stephens this morning?
No, I haven't. But when I do, I'll certainly tell him you were looking for him.
Thank you. Nice to see you again, Mrs. Johnson.